All right, welcome back to Bube Trader. I took a couple weeks off, going on vacation, so now will be my first video back, and we have uh, tomorrow, the day. Well, tomorrow for many people um, in the U.S. So I will start with TSMC, and we got 12 stock to review for tomorrow earning. There were more. It's just I'm picking out the heavy one and the well-known one. All right, so TSMC. All right, so let me. Well, you can see that the last time I predicted to go to 250, it went a little bit close, pull back, went up again, pull back again, and then testing the red line, which is 226. After that, it bounced all the way up back into the trend line, channel. All right, so now let's see what's going on with TSMC. Well, you can see the channel it's going back to the channel, and right now it's at the mid of the channel, and looks like we are all-time high. So again, all-time high most likely will pull back. All right, so now where are we going to pull back to? Well, most likely if we look this way, most likely we'll pull back to, I would say, around 288. Okay, so roughly about 8%. All right, and I would give it about 60 to 65% chance. 35 to 40% will go to 321, 322. So there's 1/3 of chance it will hit the top of the channel, but most likely due to the overbought condition, and it's been raising, I would say, almost about 40% already. They're more likely of a pullback. All right, so we will take a look and see what happened tomorrow morning. Charles swap. So I predicted last time where it go to 96, and that day is actually hit. And then since that day, it went up a little bit to about 100, pull back, come up again, pull back, and then here we got like a bear flag, and then it came down, come up a little bit, and still pulling down. So right now it's kind of like oversold. Let's draw right, so let's draw a channel for the recent short-term trend. All right, so look like we are kind of like at the middle. Short-term is oversold, and long-term is also going to oversold territory. So most likely, if the number come in decent, we will have a bounce up to at least 96 again. So you can see the number keep coming back to that level at about, I would say, 60%. Otherwise, we'll have pull back to probably around 90. And that will have about 35 to 40%. So we are looking at about 5% move to the downside, and about only a couple percent to the upside, but it might actually come up to 98. So you know what, I will say 98, because if it's decent, it might come up and test this previous high right here. All right, next we will have Bank of New York Mellon Corporation. Mellon. All right, so last time it predicted to jump up to last earning to 100. It come up to 98, but then after that it kept going up to 103, pullback, and then slowly grinded higher. So now what do we have? All right, again, let's clear out everything and try to draw a trend line. So okay, so looks like we're again at the middle of the channel. Short term is a little bit oversold, long term is overbought. So most likely we will have a pullback at about 102 for about 60%. 40% will have a rally to 114 at about 40%. So decent chance for both down and upside. But most likely I would say a pullback is going to happen. While we have here a little bit of a bear flag, so we will see if that will come true or not tomorrow. All right, next we have US Bank Corp. All right, for this one, last time I say most likely we have a pullback to 44, so it did, but then it jumped to test the top of the channel, came down again to test, jump, pull back, and then broke out. Came up all the way to 50, which is, you can see over here as a support, resistance, and then it acted as resistance as well. Pullback, came up. Well, guess what? We have another bear flag right here for short term. And right now is oversold short term. Long term also turning negative to neutral. So I would say most likely about about 55-60% we have a pullback to 44. Again, the number keep coming up. For about 40% we have a, let me see, a bounce to 50. All right, so less chance of a bounce, but more chance of a pullback. And if I look, see if we have anything else different. Pretty much the trend kind of the same still. Yeah, this really did not make a difference here. So more chance of a pullback, about 60%, 40% we have a bounce. All right, next we have Infosys. All right, so for this one, what I say was it was from here when I look at it. So I say maybe we'll hit this orange line, broke out, and then came back to test. Or it can come up here, pull back, and then bounce. But look like it did the top path, right? So after it tested the green line, it's actually bounced again. So this time maybe it will bounce more. We don't know. We'll see how it is. If we look at the short term, right? Right here. This is better. And then here. Okay, so short term is overbought. Long term is actually oversold. So I would say most likely it will pull back a little bit. So 55% of a pullback to, let's say, 1440. And then for 45% of a bounce, and most likely it will hit 1539. So more chance of a pullback, but not too much. It's almost like a 50-50 chance. So 45% bounce, 50%, 55% pullback. All right, next we have travelers. The last time I said, we might have a bounce, right, due to oversold right here to 260, and it actually hit that day, came up more, pullback, but grinding up higher. So what do we have now? Okay, so we yeah, something like this. Okay, so look like we already got a broke down from the channel. However, usually this means it will come up and test one more time, and it might come up all the way to 282. And this time, because oversold short term, long term is still overbought, but so I would say about 55% we have a bounce. 45% we have a pullback to probably 258. All right, so the chance almost 50-50, but more chance, so 55% of a bounce to come back and test this orange line. 45% of pullback. MMC, I haven't seen this stock before, but looks like it's one of big insurance company. Short term and long term is oversold, but short term is actually overbought. So the number need to be really good for it to bounce more, otherwise we have a pullback. So 55 to 60% of pullback to 140, 194. 45% of a bounce to, I would say, around 213. So it's really, now it depends on the number, okay, and the outlook. So, but most likely we have a little bit of pullback compared to rally. Key Corp, short term oversold, long term is also turning negative. So look like we got a breakdown, came up to test. So I would say most likely about 60% we have a pullback. 40% of a bounce to 1950. Uh, 1660. All right, so about only 55 to 60% of pullback, 40% of a jump. But yeah, looks like more. When I look at the chart, most likely it will pull back after this test. I don't see anything else is important. Snap on. Short term oversold, but not much. Long term is a little bit overbought. Let me draw the trend line. So we might have about 55 to 60% of a bounce to at least 350. $40 to 45% of a pullback to probably 320, 312. We'll say 312, 313. But it's not big of a percentage. So here we got a little bit of a bear flag here. So a little bit more chance of about 40. I don't know. Let me look again. Look like we might have bound. So about 40% to 45% pullback, 55% of a bounce. All right. Interactive brokers. Last time I say gonna hit 65, and that day it's actually hit it. But after that, it came back to test, went a little bit lower, and then bounce. But now you can see it's actually hit the resistance again. Overbought, long and short term. So I expect maybe about 65% of a pullback to about $60. Okay. And about 30% of a bounce to probably $78. So we will keep an eye on this, but looks like it's grinding higher. But I think now is a chance for it to pull back and correct. Let me see if I see anything else. Well, let me draw short term. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, something like that. Yeah, so most likely about 65% we have a pullback. Yeah. 35% have a bounce. Unless the number coming really good, we'll have a bounce. But even if just decent number and neutral outlook, we'll have a pullback for interactive brokers. CSX short term is actually overbought. Long term is turning positive as well. So this might look like a cup and handle here. So we may actually have a little pullback to at least 35, 34. Okay, at about 60%, 40%, it will come up and as I would say $39. Yeah, so 39. But at only 40% compared to 60% pullback. Okay. I think that's it for it. I don't see anything else that we should really need to. I mean, I don't see. I could not identify anything except for the cup and the handle. It will form later on. The last stock I will talk about is OZK Bank. OZK. It's a regional bank. Short term is neutral. Long term is a little bit positive, but turning negative or neutral now. For short term, we have something like this. All right, so I'm seeing we might have a little bit of a bounce to 52 at about 55%, 45%. We'll have a pullback to probably at $47. All right, so we have Y47 because we have something like this at a support. You can see many pivot point, right? So we may have a pullback and then a bounce, at least to here. Okay, so a little bit chance of only 55% of a bounce and 45% of pullback. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Please hit like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.